Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And what we're going to look at here is an update on Hulu. We looked at the new Hulu app quite a while ago, months ago, maybe even a year ago, and took a look at the sort of new look and feel. Since then, Hulu has updated its app on Apple TV and a couple of other devices. Not all of them, but the reason we're going to look at this on Apple TV is it has worked out some of the problems that were kind of present when we were first looking at the app in general. And I believe this is the sort of way that Hulu is going to go forward with it on all their platforms going forward. So, let me show you how Hulu works with live TV on Apple TV and hopefully everything else going forward. You'll notice you've got kind of a multiple menu structure. You've got a horizontal menu across the top. Home has a horizontal menu with multiple categories. And you'll actually find that these categories change from time to time. Like it doesn't always have Marvel TV. And right now there's things like, I believe there's a World Cup category because the World Cup is happening as we speak. Let's see, some premieres, Hulu Originals. Where'd it go? There it is, Fifa World Cup. And so, that's integrating the live TV and programming. So it shows you that, hey, there's a game on at 4 o'clock right now. Want to watch the highlight show? You can watch it right now. It's just going to go straight to the channel where the highlight show is. I'm not going to bother bouncing around because I just get into trouble with YouTube and I don't feel like dealing with that. But the basic structure is this. Home, which is right here, and it has the little house-shaped icon, which has become very universal, is the home page. And the home page has a bunch of different options. It can be overwhelming if you don't go through it calmly. I have never been sure what lineup means because it isn't necessarily shows that I've watched or shows that are related to things that I've watched, yet there it is. So I kind of write off lineup. Keep watching here is going to be completely dependent on whatever you've watched. So all of these things on here are something that I at least checked out for a minute. My channels is something that you set up. I told it that I wanted to follow a couple of channels just to see how it would work. And like I said, then you've got all these categories. Some of them are created as we go, like FIFA World Cup, TV and movies and sports, kids and news, and Hulu Originals are always permanent categories. If nothing else, these categories will be on there. Summer premieres is obviously another changing category. They're not going to have summer premieres in the middle of the winter. And other things, celebrate Pride and so on, are just things that they're going to pop in now and then. It's not always going to be there, but they're there often. There are other ways to find different genres, and I'll show you that as we go forward. The live TV function is pretty good. It's a little different than some, but the nice thing is that on Apple TV, what they've done is they've worked out a couple of things. For one, swiping down will pull up a listing on the show that you're about to watch, and swiping up pulls up a guide. So this is like your standard grid guide that can be expanded to see whatever it is that's coming on next. It doesn't show you every single channel at the same time. For instance, you see we're at FS1 and we're scanning along to see what's coming up next. So we know that 11:30 the racing series is on. 3:30 World Cup highlights. And it goes the same with everything. Right now we're at selecting ESPN2. We can see what's coming on ESPN2 going forward. But that's nice. And in this app here, you can check out and go to what you want to see. And also, if you have a selection and you hold down the touchpad button, you have a chance to record it. And this goes into your DVR. So if you hold down the button, you can go straight and watch the Michigan Basketball Classic, or you can record it, and it will go into your DVR, and you can get to it later. So that is how the live TV works. Like I said, I'm not going to jump into the live TV channels. You know, you can switch back and forth between what you've been watching and all channels. Obviously, it starts from A to Z. And if you're wondering, when you first launch live channels, it's just going to start with, I believe, A&E, because that's the first one in the lineup. And of course, as you watch things, it goes to recent channels. So it's always going to open to whatever you watched last. So we're going to get out of that menu. Going to my stuff. Okay, so this is where DVR stuff is. See, there's what we were looking at a minute ago. That was the Final Four, the Michigan stuff that we just said, we wanted to record. And as you set this to record different things, it's going to categorize it after you record it. For instance, all of these were TV shows that we set the DVR to record. On the other hand, if you set it to record a movie, if you set it to record a movie, it's going to record it, it's going to drop it right there in the movie. And you can even follow teams in your profile. That's when you're setting up your profile. If you're following a team, like we said to follow the Cavs and the Carolina Panthers, because we're right here in Raleigh, it pulled up the NBA Finals, and it recorded it. So you can go in, you can go to the games, and you can rewatch any of the games because they're recorded. This isn't super valuable with live sports that are, weeks old now, but hey, if LeBron James died tomorrow, you'd say, hey, I've got all of his last championship series recorded, right? Personally, I hope LeBron James does not die tomorrow. That would just be a horrible coincidence if that happened. Okay, so going into Manage DVR, you can find everything that has been recorded and remove things, clear up space. You start off with about 50 hours of DVR, and you can add up to 200 with the Waterman upgrade package. I don't necessarily recommend it. No, it's just fighting me here. Why is it doing this? This is just an Apple TV glitch. Let's see if it works itself out. There we go. Happens to the best of us. But as I was saying, on the DVR, you'll see it has 9.9 hours available. It's filled up a lot of hours, about 41, because it starts with 50. But if you want to add more, you can pay $15 or $14.99, and you can get up to 200 hours of DVR recording. In general, because it's Hulu, I don't think it's necessary to have a big DVR, because Hulu also allows you to watch so many things on demand. Now, when you look at the browse menu here, this is going to be a whole lot more like what you think of as basic Hulu. You see all of the main categories that were available on the home page, but here everything kind of breaks down into subcategories. For instance, we'll go into genres. Last I counted, there were something like 32 different genres. So you go into, say, like history as a genre. It breaks it down. See, for you, this is what's on at the moment. This is what will be coming on. I don't know where exactly they get the idea of what's popular. Maybe they track what you're watching or track what their customers are watching. Within history, movies. So you see now, people can debate as to whether that's historical or not, but you'll see that a lot of things here are basic information movies based on historical events. And so that's cool. And it works like that with everything. If you go into sci-fi, it does the same thing. If you go into, any of the categories, it kind of breaks it down that way so that you can discover more content. And that's sort of what Hulu seems to be working with here, is they're trying to make the content easy to discover. Because sometimes you know exactly what you want to watch. You say, I want to watch The Flash. I want to watch, who knows, whatever it is, Flip This House. So you know that, you're going to have that in your stuff, or you're going to search directly for it. But if you are just sort of in the mood for something, like I'm often in the mood just to watch something like sci-fi. But this whole thing breaks down if you go into TV shows. So you have all these subcategories again. Live, popular, Hulu TV shows. And it'll even break it down by things like decades, like shows from the 80s, shows from the 90s. Here we go, and like 90s family comedy. Did I do that? So, that's cool. I'm not going to go through every single category and every single subcategory. Just understand, you jump on a category, you go into it, you're going to have a breakdown of things so that you can zero in. I like the kids section specifically because, I mean, if you think of a 1-year-old to a 12 or 13-year-old as a kid, they're not exactly going to like the same things. So Hulu does a good job of breaking that down that way. Now, up here at the top, the little search button is just your classic search. If you know exactly what you want to watch, you can go in. Like I said flip this house. Flip. I believe Flip This House is a show still. I don't really watch home improvement shows. There it is, Flip This House. So you search for it. You say okay. Shows you where you can watch it. It's going to break it down by the episodes and kind of take you to an episode page. Looks like there's not a lot available on this. Now, something cool about Hulu with Live TV, though, is that Hulu always had on-demand stuff, right? But with Live TV integrated, what this is going to do is integrate every single channel that you get. And it's about like 52, 53 channels of cable channels alone. People ask about local TV, and that's all going to depend on where you live and what kind of deals Hulu has made with the rights holders of various network affiliates. So there is no guarantee that because your friend in Omaha has ABC or NBC, that if you live in Minneapolis, that you're going to be able to get the same thing, because it just isn't. In my area, we get a couple of networks. I think we get ABC and NBC, but we don't get CBS or something like that. I can't remember how it breaks down. But on Hulu's website, there is a tool where you can type in your zip code and it will tell you this is the local channels that you get. Other things about this, screens. How many screens can you use? With the basic subscription, which costs like $38, $39, depending on taxes, you can watch 2 screens at once in your house. If you add an upgrade, which is another $14.99 charge, you can watch unlimited screens in your house and up to 3 outside of the home. So if you have a family of 10, every single person can be on their iPad or on a TV or on their Roku or watching TV. I think that sort of took care of the main questions and main issues. There is an option to add premium content. You can do that by adding Showtime. You can add Showtime for $8.99, and that integrates completely into Hulu. HBO and Cinemax are also available, but it really doesn't integrate into Hulu. What that allows you to do is use the same Hulu add-on, or your same Hulu password and login, but you have to add something like, HBO Now. So then you would just download HBO Now, install it, and sign in with your Hulu password. There's no bargain on that. It's the price of HBO Now, which is about $15 a month. But that is, what they're allowing you to do there. It's sort of like Amazon. You sign up, you use your Hulu login, you have one bill instead of having multiple bills, and now you have your HBO stuff. But that is Hulu Live on the Fire TV. I think this is sort of the ideal version of Hulu Live. It's a little clunkier on other devices. So, if you've got an Apple TV and wondering if this would be a good option for you, I think it is. In fact, I think it might be one of the best out there, mainly because if you already like Hulu and you have a $7.99 version of Hulu just for, limited commercials and on demand, paying $39 is like paying $31 more for live TV added. There is a strange package that's like $38, and that's Hulu Live without the on-demand, but I wouldn't recommend that because the on-demand content is great. There's tons and tons and tons of movies and special deals and exclusive films that they have, and you don't want to miss out on that. There's no reason to deprive yourself of that just to save $1. My goodness. So check it out if you like. They do have a free preview, and you might like it if you're looking for a cord-cutting option that gives you some cool other benefits. This is a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do have any questions, if there was something I didn't think to mention, I don't think of everything every time, and so that's fine. Just leave a message in the comments. Ask about anything else. If you like this, please subscribe and share this with your friends. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friend.